Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What is going on? Yeah, folks and friends, team and family, fans and followers from around the world. Hope you're doing amazing and incredible. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate you. Albert says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, my friend. Emily says, happy Thursday, all. Happy Thursday, Emily. Love it. All right. A little bit of a red day for me, mostly because I finally got stopped out of Norwegian Cruise Line calls. That took forever, but a Band-Aid ripped off nonetheless. Obviously, we'll talk about it. Today is Transportation Thursday. Broader markets. Type of 9 if you're just absolutely shocked that we had two bear candles gapping down into a support and we bounced. No 9s. I like it. Oh, man. I mean, what a great day for fading. Wow, wow, wow. Just beautiful. So again, bear candle. We were down a lot, like 1% and some change. This is a really key support. And we gapped down and pretty much around open held the whole time. So here's the 5-minute chart. Very first 5-minute, nice hammer, ish looking type of candle coming in right there. And it would just, again, slowly grinded higher most of the day. So what I like about this chart right here, I know I mentioned this not too long ago, but it still holds true today, is if you are trading, swing trading, which obviously we are in the swing trading room. If we're swing trading and we're thinking to ourselves, how do day trades help us in our swing trades? This is a perfect example, because this is a great example of if the stock were to gap down really, really, really big, but it was a good company. So something that we use, something that we like, something that we're interested in, something that we actively appreciate and use. This is what that'll look like. This is what the chart will do, except on a daily chart rather than a 5-minute. So again, just one of those things that kind of is like, oh, that's cool. You know, this is how you kind of start seeing it over and over and over and over again. Is this is how, like, you'll get that run up and you'll get the big retrace and then it'll kind of continue higher. For example, I mean, I know that there's no way we would have known that was going to happen, but does that look familiar? QDEL on the daily chart talking about what we just, I mean, does that look familiar to anyone else? Pretty much the same pattern. A little bit faster, honestly, on this move, but you know, there's a lot of opportunities to make money on that little retracement right here, or the break above the 10 and the 20. You know, so it's just really being able to see these patterns and practicing the sentiment. That's what we always got to remember. It's the sentiment. What are people thinking and why are they thinking it? That's what we got to be asking ourselves. Who is in what and where and why? So the Qs gap down, got bought up. IWM got amazing gap down and buy up. And then the Dow Jones ETF, same thing. So pretty much everything gapped down and got bought up towards the close of the day. And now it's just another day in the markets. So I'll start off with my losses. Get those out the way. CRMD, Cormedics, stopped out and then it ran at open, which is lame. That is a lame duck when that happens. I always loathe when that occurs. But breakouts have not really been working out that amazing. I had to try it though, because it was just trading sideways for far too long. But obviously I should have just done a limit entry where my stop was and had a lower stop loss. Emily says, I'm still in it because I forgot to put in my stop loss, LOL. Well, I'm very happy that the candle looks like this. I have done the exact same thing, Emily, years ago. I got into a trade and it was just, you know, that would happen because it's my luck. I have what people refer to as very bad luck. So yeah, if I don't have a stop loss in place, that's the very next candle that comes in. Looks a lot like that. But anyway, I'm happy that it did not turn out that way for you. I did get stopped out of CRMD, and that's updated on the trade journal. So CRMD got stopped out of, and also had 5 cents of slippage at open. So Cormedix gone with the wind. She is. And then here is Norwegian. We'll go ahead and get that out the way. So Norwegian, I tried my absolute best. And by trying my absolute best, I mean, we had targets in place and we just missed them numerous times. Numerous times. So again, eventually, this is going to chop around for a while. I will get the gains back. Edward says 3 times. I know, man. I know. I had the target in place, just did not happen. However, I'm going to get that back with some shares. So I don't think Norwegian is going to go to 0. I don't think it's going to go to 0. I'm going to be playing the shares based on a channel, on a little bit of a bigger time frame. I'm just going to buy as low as I can and sell it as high as I can. So like a 4-hour, 2-hour, 3-hour, I'm just going to create some support resistances. I'm going to buy it low. I'm going to sell it high. I'm just going to rinse and repeat. That's kind of my plan on Norwegian. You don't have to follow it. Just letting you all know that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm definitely not going to sell it low and kind of wig out and freak out. Plus, someone told me all you have to do is if you're in a trade that's losing, just move your trend line and then boom, look at that. Now it becomes a support. That's all you have to do. But again, the overall trade I know is a week on Norwegian. The options did not work. They got very close to working. They were profitable. Here. I guess I should have sold them. I mean, got like what, 8-10 cents away from a target. I should have sold them, but oh, wow. Hindsight, right? Give me that. I'm still waiting for Edward to build the time machine. We're just going to all sit back and just keep waiting. So anyway, I like Norwegian down here, buy low, sell high. Going to be playing with the shares this time and not options. And that's pretty much that. Edward says, good things take time. That is a fact of life, my friend. Such a true statement. Okay, beyond the meat. So beyond the meat, I would still like a little bit of a larger pullback. Earnings is around the corner. But this is such a great gap on September 20th. I mean, it really, really is a nice retracement. I do dig it a lot. The big question is just kind of how to play it. And, you know, if you're looking at something like this, because again, I know Matt has a swing trade class coming up where he'll teach you a lot of his strategies, and he's already shared that in the afternoon room before. Just keep in mind, and I'm a big fan of everything Matt does, but just as a reminder, everything works not all the time. You can literally create any time frame that you want with any moving averages that you want, and they will work. Just not always. So what Matt does to keep it simple is you can do scans and you'll come up with 400 different stocks every week to trade, or you just stick to your same 15 and win those 15 stock setups, then you get into the trade. It just depends on kind of where you are in your trading, and just at one level, what you're going to do is you're going to find what part works for you. You know? So you're going to do a strategy. You'll try that strategy. Give time to any strategy that you do. So time usually is a month, maybe 2 months, where you focus on a thing. Do a thing for a while. And just see, do you like it? Do you not like it? What's your results? Yay or nay, in and out, good or bad. Tweak some results, get some information, create some change, and then figure out if you need to update or adjust, you know? So the reason I'm bringing all that up on Beyond Meat is I like this trend. I do want it to pull back just a little bit. I'm going to watch it next 2 or 3 days. For me, I want to bounce off to 20 and then I'm gonna go long. 20 on the daily. Why? Well, that's that support that it bounced off of last time. So I want to try that again. That's it. Nitro says, I have 25 that I pretty much trade. Why? I thought all of your money was in Blue Apron. Matt said, I'm sorry, Lucian says, I'm in the middle of doing that now with Matt's 10 EMA strategy. Very cool. Robert says, do you have room for Valero? Definitely. Definitely have room for Valero, CHWY, Fastly. Yep. Joseph says, Nitro likes to cook. Yeah, that's right. Fan of the cooking. Okay, cool. So Beyond Meat, bottom line, I'm waiting for it to pull back some more. Tesla, earnings are around the corner. So what I've decided to do on Tesla on this particular earnings is I think I'm just going to wait it out. Yep, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to day trade some puts. If we gap down, I'll day trade it. Because the thing is, and again, this is just my opinion. I could be extremely wrong. Unless the earnings are just absolutely despicable. If we do a gap down to here, we'll probably fade. Why? Because we've literally done that 2 times in the last month. Big down move, we fade right back up. Big down move, we fade right back up. We keep getting bought up. So if we do gap down and earnings are just miserable, we'll probably, gap down and go up. And then if earnings are like, hey guys, we sold 1 vehicle and we've made absolutely no money at all, and I'm really sorry. I'm going to say some 4-letter words, and they're all going to rhyme with French fries. And then I'm going to probably buy some puts and start hedging with options at that time. You guys are putting in all the words that Siri always adjusts my text messaging to. Yes, Siri, I wanted to say duck. Thank you. I love sending ducks to all my friends. Thank you, Siri. But anyway, yeah, I think that's just really the goal. And so I think unless earnings are really bad, which I don't think they will be, bad earnings, we gap down and we get bought up. Decent earnings, we stay flat. Good earnings, we probably stay flat. Great earnings, we gap up a little bit, trade down again, and then slowly grind higher. I don't foresee Tesla just massacring and gapping up. If we do, there's no stopping this thing. It'll be at 1,000 by the end of the year if we gap up to like 575 or something. It'll be the most ridiculous thing that we've ever seen. I really do not anticipate that happening. So put that on the 0.01% scale of occurring. But if some weird thing happens, they come out with earnings, they gap above like 575 and they just blow everything out of the water, then I have no idea what to do. It's just going to just run very high. And if it gaps down some, yeah, get in long, most likely expect it to fade 2 or 3 days later, and then go from there. If it has a deplorable open and gaps down, 40%? I don't know. I'm going to be down a lot, and I'm just going to hold for a few weeks and cry. Sound good? I think that's my plan with Tesla right now. I mean, if you're going to invest, you're going to have to hold over earnings, and that's what I got. And that's what I got on Tesla. PENN, National Gaming, PENN. I still like it. I mean, the trend looks good. I personally want to buy it off the 50 if I'm going to play it. And right now I'm just kind of waiting it out. Weekly chart, slow doing its thing. Volume, slow doing its thing. Life, pretty much slowly doing its thing. And I just don't see anything amazing on this one. Any questions on PENN? I don't think anyone's in it, but I mean, if you are, just stay in. Unless you want to sell and lock in profits. So if you want to sell and lock in profits and buy something else, great. It's up a lot. Otherwise, buy the dip or just stay in it. I don't have any position on PENN. All right. I want to know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. GLD trading sideways. higher lows, relative resistance. Again, I would love this to happen on gold, but what's happening is a lot of us, I think, are starting to see the handle of a really, really large kind of like cup and handle, maybe. I mean, I don't know. You're getting this really deep basin. And I had a trader ask me in depth at the retreat what I think of gold. And my opinion was just kind of like this and then this for a few more weeks or months, and then we continue higher. Maybe. I posted a video. I'll post it in here too, but there's some cryptocurrency wallets that are coming out that are backing some of their positions off of gold. And obviously in order to do that, they need to buy gold. So I think in general, my overall plan on gold to be long, to be bullish, either buy physical gold, buy the ETF, or buy long-term call options and literally just sit back and wait and do that for a while. Gold's going higher. Just let it rest for a bit, trade sideways, hang out, and then after that point in time, kind of expect it to, you know, slowly creep up. Okay. Jay says gold miners, small cap, long term. There you go. Peloton is a lightsaber on a monthly chart. Look at this thing. Wow. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This will be his lightsaber. It'll just be a chart of Peloton to kill the Sith. I think if I'm saying any of that correct. Robert says Peloton or Zoom, if they ever lower guidance, is going to Fastly. Yeah, pretty much. Roberta Schwartz says I'm in at 111. There you go, Roberta. Nicely done. Nicely done. So again, this is the big signal. Like if you're going to play it, the really, really big, like, hello, is this volume, that close. Now, again, keep in mind, if you're ever looking at, oh, interesting, you can hover over and you can do a little bit of math, a little bit of algebra, if you want, some really intense math, where you hover over the volume and you go, okay, 87 million shares were traded. I want to multiply that times approximately the average price of the stock that day, 92. And you're going to get a very large number. You know, the number will be higher than you would expect. So that's a lot of opportunity if we take out that volume, which we did 2 weeks later. That's why it's so bullish right now. If you want to make it that simple, which that's what I try to do. So Peloton, should you be bearish? Nope. In fact, my boy Tony said yesterday, and I quote, Peloton's never going to go down. Ha, ha, ha. If it does, like this, it'll probably get bought right back up. Ha, 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 end quotes. That was pretty much Tony's analysis just yesterday, and he was not wrong. Look at this gap down on a 3-minute chart. Now, I did not day trade Peloton today, but check out that 3-minute candle. Whew. Wow. Peloton. People are riding bikes. Amazing. Boeing. So Boeing today, this is Transportation Thursday after all. Boeing is Boeing. So Nancy's covered calls expired Friday, expired worthless. Good job, Nancy. So a lot of people just keep selling covered calls. A lot of you are owning shares because Boeing is an unbreakable basket, and it's just boring. Boring Boeing. Add an R, remove the E. That's pretty much what you're going to get on the stock for a while. They did like 9 planes or something, or 68 planes. 68? Was it 68 planes? They did a number lower than 100. They did the exact same amount of planes that probably myself and Joseph could build with some toothpicks and about $1 million. It's the same amount of planes. Robert says, I think it was 10. John says it was 69. It wasn't a lot. That's the thing. It's not tons. So again, Boeing goes to zero. We're going to have a lot of issues here in the US. I'm not saying it can't occur, but the unlikelihood of that would be just disastrous if that happens. Now, we all know we can buy puts on the way down. So the level that you need to be concerned with is a close below 145. If it closes below 145, buy some puts to protect yourself just in case. That's the low of this candle right here. Right? The low of this candle, 144.55. So if it closes below there, then yeah, buy some puts. Otherwise, I actually still have put sales on Boeing for November. I think I have 3 contracts at 115 or 120. Robert says defense and cargo still need planes. It has a floor somewhere. Listen to Robert, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Robert thinking that the world needs planes and oil. Come on, dude. All you need is Shopify and Workday. That's it. Peloton, Shopify, Tesla, some Zoom, no need for planes or oil. Yeah, it's pretty wild to see this happen. And in general, again, I don't think Boeing's gonna go away. It's just gonna be ugly for a while. That's all. Make sense? So if you guys are in shares of Boeing, just stay in it. It could be at 250, but it might take 2 or 3 years. And that's okay. All right. Lee says, we just need to ride bikes. Who need planes? I can't disagree with that statement according to the chart. Now, CRM. I had some traders asking if they should buy it yesterday. And my analysis was not yet. A little bit lower. There's the little bit lower. So Salesforce, I love this doji. What a great doji. If you were looking at getting in, if it breaks higher, I think tomorrow would be a day. If it takes out the high of this candle, I mean, if you're looking at getting in, that'd probably be a spot to do it. In general, really, really nice, good looking, quite pretty, semi-delicious approach. And yeah, that's really it. So again, if you bought yesterday, cool. If you bought today, cool. I don't have any positions right now in Salesforce for no particular reason other than I can't be in everything. And that's really all I got to say about that. Edward says if it breaks, would 240 be a good level to buy? If it takes out the low of today's candle, great question. And yes, 240-ish would be a great spot to get in. 240, 235. You're not going to get the exact low, obviously, but somewhere right around there, I think is still valid on Salesforce. Still a good product, good company. Yep. Cool stuff. All right. FLGT, Florida Georgia line. They have a bar in Nashville called the FGL House, Florida Georgia line. It's exactly as good as it sounds. By the way, type in a 7 if you're a huge fan of country music. Where's my 7s? Joseph, go ahead and throw in your 7. Jonathan Wade types in a -7. John says 7 prior to 1995. There you go. FLGT, almost Florida Georgia line. Oh, you guys are funny. I like it. Yeah, so FLGT, let's see. Good break higher here. I'm not really sure what it does. Something with genetics. Medical servicing technology company. That's all I got. That's it. The most bullish thing it could have done is not close below that candle. And since it closed below it yesterday, I'd be hesitant and kind of waiting for something like that. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm just simply saying I'd rather wait for it to go lower and buy it than try to buy a breakout. Plus, I've learned something important in my trading career. Anything with the word genetics in the company, it's a little risky. So, gonna move on. All right, I've already looked at Beyond Meat. Had on here twice. Let's go check out you. So Michael Lohman and Peter and a few traders are playing you. We did take a swing trade on this one, and that one worked out. Agreed. Trying to find out if we can get back in again. Really interesting to see how this will play out. If I had to take a shot in the dark, this is what I would want / need to see Unity do before I got in. Make a higher high, and then on a pullback, I'd look for some candles around 88. That's what I would wait for. Support yeah, so here's the resistance. You're getting close to a spot where we sold off before, so you don't want to buy too aggressively. I would love it down at 65. So if we're just waiting for that, cool. We took one swing trade on it. The rest, I say I'm going to wait for a bit. Doesn't mean that we can't trade it at all. Just, I guess, in general, simply means I'm probably going to wait longer than aggressively buying it. And that's what, that's it. That's what I have. My boy Craigster wants to put NVTA on the list. Absolutely, can do. All right, next on the list is the Googs. The Googs. So Google held up strong today. Really good signal. Beautiful flag pattern. Really nice retest gap. This is the retest. So if you show some strength tomorrow, I mean, I guess look to play it. I would honestly say, and we talked about it the other day back over here, right? If Google is, if you're looking at playing it bullish, a debit spread makes a lot of sense unless you want to buy some shares or buy just some longer term call options. If you're bullish on the internet, you know, eventually Google probably will go higher. Weekly chart, I like the gap up. In general, just kind of waiting around to see what it does. And yeah, I would imagine that this gap fills, but in order for this gap to fill, it's either gonna have to be on earnings or we're gonna have to get some more market weakness. And I don't know which one's going to occur first. So that's really all I got. So that is it. Next on the list is Facebook. Ticker symbol FB. So Facebook, what we're doing right now is we're gapping down, hanging out, doing its thing, kind of chilling and slowly grinding away. So 100 simple moving average, doing its thing. Honestly, it filled the gap. I don't know what else to say about Facebook. I mean, here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart, trend looks good, chart looks good, daily chart, things look nice. Potential double bottom. I like the candles. You know, if it gaps up, cool. If it gaps down, that's fine. I'd be more bullish if it broke above this candle. It's at a weird spot. So when I pull this up, I'm just not blown away by what it's doing. I do like the double bottom. I think that looks cool. I do like where we're at. I think that looks intriguing. Yeah, simple as that. I would really prefer Facebook around 240. If I'm buying Facebook, that's where I'm buying it. If I'm going to play either put sales or long-term calls or shares, I could day trade between now and then, but really it's kind of right now in no man's land. I'm just not entirely sure what to do on it. So I'm just going to wait it out. Yep, I'm going to wait out Facebook on a swing level. Day trade, it was a little tricky today. I totally agree. It wasn't that great. Pinterest. So I am in Pinterest with some long call options. And I have my target for $20 on those leaps. I do not expect that to happen before earnings. And then maybe something cool happens on earnings. So overall trend looks good. Chart looks good. Here's the weekly. Weekly chart on Pinterest looks nice. Daily chart looks really nice. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous trend. This is on Matt's 15 stocks of in his strategy. This could be a stock that you just buy in and just be in for a while, or actively trade on the hourly chart or a shorter term time frame, or sell puts on to potentially own some shares. So I like Pinterest. I like the trend. It is doing good stuff fundamentally. I know exactly how this company makes money, and I'm in it. I am in on Pinterest. I'm in these calls and things are looking good. So, yep. So Pinterest, good looking trend. Things looking nice. Yeah, that's what I got. Okay, next on the list is Progeny. PGNY. So Progeny doing its thing. So yeah, 100 simple moving average, 200 simple moving average acting as support. If you're playing Progenius, you're probably buying it as low as you can, pretty much based on this hammer or kind of based on some of this volume. I like the resistance, but it is just, it's going sideways. So not a bad stock to A, sell puts on, B, bull put spreads, C, buy some shares nice and low. That's all I would do on Progeny. Definitely would consider doing some more research on this company. They do some pretty wild stuff. Definitely not quote unquote safe things as far as an investor. I mean, they could do something that one day it's up 40% or the next day it's down 40%. Yeah, but we've played options on it. We've played shares on it. We've definitely been in this trade. I do like its movement. I do like the gap down, just don't have any position in it right now. So yeah, Progeny, play more bullish to neutral strategies if you use those. All right, NEO, to ticker symbol NIO. So I talked about NEO on Tuesday, and it had the strongest gap I've seen in my entire life on Wednesday. Type in a 7 if you're making money on NEO. I'm making $0 on NEO, and that's okay. I know my boy Mike Gurley crushed it. Greg Gilbert is murdering this one. Ignia is doing great. Sherwin is making money. Joseph Smith III is making money on NEO. Well done, team. Well done. This is one of those picture perfect examples of just because Newsom's not in it doesn't mean that you can't be in it. I've been very open that I've never been in this stock. I just keep missing the boat. For whatever reason. I mean, I can do my analysis 1.5 million times. And that would have been it. Now, saying all that, I absolutely would have day traded this thing yesterday. Easiest thing in the world. Whole market was down and weak, and this thing was up strong. Same as today. So I may or may not have played NEO later in the day. This was what I drew 5 minutes after market open, this little blue line. So I want it to go up, I want it to come down, and then I want it to bounce. Check out this mid squig right here. This little intermediate, like the squigs even got the little bounce that came in right on time too. Isn't that just dirty? I don't know how he does it sometimes. It's masterful. So all we did was pull right back into the previous high of the day. So there was the previous high right here. Old resistance, new support, buy at 27, sell at 28, make $1 a share on a $27 stock. Hashtag money. So really, really nice little day trade later in the afternoon, or again, a little trade early this morning, or a swing trade or whatever. NEO's going to go higher though, team. So if you want to put this one on your list, this gap and this volume is ridiculous. Is it going to happen in a day? Maybe, right? Is it going to be at $200 tomorrow? I'm going to have to take the no on that one. I'm going to have to bet the under. But is it going to be at 100 or 200 in the next 2-3 years? I'm not sure. I do not know. But what I can say is for sure is this: once trends get going, trends like to stay the trend. This trend is bullish on all time frames, on all volume profiles, everywhere you look at it. This is a lot of volume, and I'd like to buy the dip. I don't trust myself to just get in here. So I'm going to try to create a plan to buy at a lower price. And maybe I'll try to make some money on NEO, but man, it looks strong to me. Mike says, I back traded it last time. It was a gap and go and it sold off at open. I expected it may do the same yesterday and it just never did. And it ran and never stopped. When was the last gap and go, Mike, that you back traded? What day? You have to show me the day. Because I've traded NEOs every gap and go, and I don't recall that occurring. Might have been a retest gap. 4 candles back, 4 candles. This one. So this one on the 12th of October, there is a difference between this gap and that gap. So if it's this one that you're referring to, I could agree. There's a difference though with that gap. I think we can all kind of see the difference. It's there. It's a slight difference. It's hard to spot if you're looking at it. Yeah, unless you're referring to this one. Other than that, it was a gorgeous gap. The thing is, and hey, bro, I didn't trade it at all, so don't listen to anything I'm about to say. But on a 3-minute or 5-minute chart, you had 9 minutes and then another 3rd minute to get in. So high wave candle, giant upper shadow, another high wave candle. There's the close. There's the second retest, just in case you're not already in. So it gave all the setups. I promise I would have traded it every single time I'm in that trade. And I will lose like the best of them. Speaking of CARS, CARS was a nice gap and go today. This was a really, really pretty trade. I could have, honestly, funny part is, could have taken my exact trade twice on CARS and would have made money 2 times. The same thing happened with Pinterest. Really interesting pattern that I noticed today. Very interesting pattern. The first trade worked, take it a second time. That was kind of like the pattern on some stocks. But anyway, long story short, I'll show you the trade that I made on CARS, but check out this hammer. Type in a 6 if that is the perfect hammer of all time. That's perfect. If I didn't take CARS early in the morning, would I get in there based on that candle? I have to. If I'm watching it, I have to. Entry there, stop there all the time. Have to take that. If I don't take that, I fire myself. I pull out money from my ATM. I light it on fire. And I just walk away because it's the same thing as not taking that trade. This is how I traded CARS though this morning. Sheer luck. I was just going back and forth between a bunch of different time frames, but the weekly moving average was $9.26. That was the weekly time frame. And daily chart, right? Gapping up. I mean, look at this trap right here. Look at, because again, remember the whole market was down today. There's a reason that I keep bringing this up, so just stay tuned. So look at all these bears that were trapped today. Tons and tons and tons of bears. a lot of trappage, good close. There's nothing stopping this. That's why I keep bringing it up. This is a gap that can easily continue to go. For a swing trade or another follow-up for a day trade or 2 or 3 days from now, you're probably going to want to throw this on your list. Now, am I going to be able to give you the exact trade on it? No. I'll try, but I might not be able to. You got to keep in mind, my friends, at some point, the absolute best thing that we're going to be able to do together is say, hey, here's the idea. And then you take that idea and use your skills to snag it and bag it. But that is an amazing, amazing gap. Good trend, good everything. So anyway, I bought it at open on a limit buy at 918, filled at 908, and sold at 973 and 984. I took half an hour. I set that up before the market even opened. Sammy says, do you think we can catch under retracement? I do, absolutely. Yeah, something like this. It could happen. So you could set up a retracement. You could have 2 orders, right? You could have one order to catch the retracement, one order to play the breakout. One works, one doesn't. If the breakout doesn't work and you lose an R, then the retrace works and you make a half an R or something, or make 2 Rs. Yeah, it's one that we should at least kind of keep an eye on and watch. All right, TeleDoc, ticker symbol TDOC. So this is an evening star reversal. This is a reversal pattern on TeleDoc. I'm now in 300 shares of TeleDoc, and I'm in my max share size at this point, and I will now add leaps if we trade back down into this area over earnings. So this area is where most of my limit buys are. I think I have one limit buy here, limit buy here, limit buy here, and there for leaps. 250 January 2022 calls is what I'm going to get into. I'll let you guys know if they fill. Right now they haven't. So I am in shares. I'm in 300 shares, and now we'll see what TeleDoc does. I like it long term. Earnings are good. Gross margins are good. And everyone in the world loves LVGO, and TeleDoc is buying cash and share deal LVGO. So I think long term, this is a good one. Good trend, good volume. Looks really nice. So that's TeleDoc. I can put First Solar on the list. So Mike says First Solar is getting a lot of screen time recently. It's on CNBC a lot. So I got some more shares of, sorry, not shares. I got more calls of First Solar today on the gap down. So now I have 10 January 2022 $100 call options on First Solar. And then I'll wait until earnings to see if I want to get shares or not. That's really it. So now I'm going to wait on First Solar a little bit and see what it does. But so far, it's going to try to hang out. Earnings, it could be a big, giant goose egg. And then I have to hold through some leaps on some pain on the leaps and then play with some shares. I do like the gap up. I do like the close. I kind of like this weekly chart. But this monthly chart, oh heavens. Well, we got a long way to go for the month. But if the month closes like this, it could take some time to go higher, but I'd like it. And let's see if this is the breakout. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it could be. So I'm going to get in. I'm going to play it bullish, and best of luck. At that point, that's the only thing you can do. Once you get in, from there, it really is luck of the draw in a way. DocuSign. I do have a position on DocuSign. I'm in leaps on DocuSign. And today was a great gap down retest. So you had 3 bull candles in a row, retest gap. We're gapping up. Trend is bullish. I'm in long. DocuSign, every single one of you probably use DocuSign, or every single one of you knows how DocuSign works. Their earnings are good. Their fundamentals are pretty solid. Yeah, they're a little on the high side as far as their valuation, but I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but look at this trend. And has valuation mattered that much currently? And the answer is no. And it will at some point come and bite me. I promise you. Buying these call options and these leaps on some of these positions. I'm going to have some trades that are going to lose at some point. It just has to occur. But that's where it's going to be in that euphoria stage that we experienced back in September. When that happens again, I know how to be disciplined and to time it and to go, you know what? Let me just peel off these gains and then rebuy other things. Wage says basically every Salesforce CRM customer uses DocuSign. Yeah, man. They have a lot of customers. I like it. I'm in this one. Jonathan says, which it also feels like at any moment Salesforce could build that product and push them out. Could, but I don't think that's going to be the top of their priority. They might, but I don't think that's super high on their priority list. DocuSign already does it really well, and I think it's just one of those things. It's like, why? It's not that expensive. They built the product. It's really good. It's really clean. It's very easy to use. And with all the COVID stuff and nobody wanting to touch pins, when I say pins, I mean actual pins. Does that crack anyone else up? I'm by myself on that one, probably, maybe. When I go to a restaurant and they're like, here's all the used pins. Here's all the used pins, and here's the pins that no one else has touched. Bring your own pin. That's right. Craig says DocuSign beat Dot Loop at Keller Williams. Nice. Well, that's the thing that keep me posted on, Craig, man. If DocuSign ever drops off some of these really big real estate firms, let me know. Because that'll be I will sell Mike Leaps immediately. Craig says it's a data war. Oh, you thought DocuSign was just to sign the documents? You thought that was what they were doing? Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm in it. Also in Workday. I'm in WDAY, long calls, trend looks good. Falco just keeps Dr. Falconing them these options, selling them at 18 and buying them at 16 because the bid-ask spread is so wide. So good job, Falco. I am in Workday and got call options, so I'm just going to let that one sit back and let it do its thing. I did buy to close my put sales, and look at this lightsaber candle close. I mean, it looks good to me. We got the retest. We've retested the trend line. 276 was a late 2020 target. We still got time. We got earnings. We'll find out if earnings are good. I don't know. Anyway, Workday, I'm in it. Tyler says, in the middle of closing on a house, been using DocuSign every day. Yeah, man, for sure. The trade desk finally pulling back. Everyone likes desks, apparently, and this is a strong pullback. I am in trade desk with this debit spread right here, and yeah, I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm in, so we'll see what it does on the trade desk, but I'm just gonna kind of wait it out because I got in and it started working immediately, and that's why I'm playing with options. It's expensive. It's pricey. It has a strong trend, and I'm just playing the trend at this point. We got the close above the volume. Trend is bullish. It's pulling back. Robert says, still have no idea what they do. Me either, but I like the trend. Alex has just thrown out a word that makes everyone feel better. Data analytics. Are they analyzing trade data? You know, like, I mean, I don't like data analytics. Like, that's cool, but what is, like, what are they analyzing? What analytics are they analyticing? Are they analyzing spoon sales or cup sales? Got it. Data analytics for advertising. Okay. Well, that's a little bit more info. A little more info. I can dig that. Anyway, chart looks good. Trend looks good. So I don't know. I'm in it. We'll see if it works. Valero. Again, I keep saying it. No one needs oil. Oil is worthless. But at some point, I'm keeping a very close eye on this one to see if it can do something cool. And here's the monthly chart, ginormous high wave candle, out of support. Here's the long-term moving averages, right? It's really, really far away. If you adjust it for dividends, it's right on top of it. So again, Valero, tomorrow, be watching for a gap up to go long. Earnings is right around the corner. Otherwise, I'd probably play an options trade. This one came up on a hammer scan that Robert's saying, but I mean, it's a perfect hammer. It's a good candle. It looks nice. It's at a great location. I'm not saying it's going to go to 100. I'm simply saying it could do this again. And that again was $4 a share. Sometimes you just got to find these patterns and boop, 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 in and out. So we shall see. All right. CHWY, CHWY. Somebody said, did you see what CHWY's doing after hours? Did it hit my target? Nope, not yet. I do love the fact that it's gapping up. I have 800 shares of CHWY. I am in this one. If you have a fur baby, I mean, if you have a cat and his name is Chester, you should probably be in CHWY. You know, I mean, 5 shares, a call, a put sale, something. They're not directly competing with Amazon, in my opinion. Now, what's really, really, really interesting on CHWY is the close above this volume right here on that day. So I don't know what the news is. I don't know what the news is, but I like this up. Jonathan Wage says, my name is John. I have a cat named Chester and I'm in CHWY. That is the very first thing you should say when you start dating. That should be it. So if you're single out there and you're mingling, if you're singling and mingling, that's your line. Hi, my name is Ross. I have a cat named Chester and I own shares of CHWY. Jacob says, that's my Tinder bio. Prove it. You got 3 minutes to prove it. Coaching session is yours. I'll give you a coaching session if you can prove it in 3 minutes. Although I know you're joking, that is still a very, very funny thing. Ross says, I'm going to use it at Long Beach this weekend. It will work, guaranteed. Yeah, the recipient of said pickup line will have to date you. All right, so anyway, I like the chart. I do not want to discount how bullish I am on CHWY with the fact that it's closing above this bearish volume, my friends. I'm probably going to have to raise my target realistically on CHWY a little bit higher. If it hits it tomorrow, I'll just leave it alone. But if it hits it tomorrow, I'll rebuy it around 65. But man, that thing could really, really rock and roll. Okay, 2 more. Fastly, getting abridged. Fastly, boy. So I am down right now an hour and a half on this debit spread. I bought back the 160 call sales, so that was nice. So I bought that back, so now I'm just in these 130 calls. I have a $155 put sale for November that I'm going to try to sell for a little bit more premium tomorrow. I didn't get filled on this today, but I think tomorrow it's going to get a little bit more blood. Filing their S3, trying to raise some more capital, and then it can go higher. What you see before you is green. I think that's worst case scenario, because as Alex is mentioning, this is a liquidity zone, a liquidity pocket all up in here on Fastly. So that is a worst case scenario. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it can't or it won't, but this gap down with this volume right here, we take that out, we're going to go lower a little bit. And the 100 simple is going to start banging its head against the counter. we'll trade, it could trade down, and then we'll see what earnings do, right? And so if we trade lower and lower and lower and earnings are bad and then earnings gap down, it's going to get a little ugly for a bit. Just letting you all know. It could get a little bit early. Robert says, why didn't they raise cash last week? I mean, they probably tried. It just takes, I think it takes a week or two to get those things filed. Terry says, hi, I lost my income, but please give me some money. Well, they're going to. They're about to get it. That's what's crazy. It is 2020 after all. So I am in this 130 call. I'm pretty much down, I mean, 85% on that call. So I did have a debit spread. That was the only position I had left. I only had 3 contracts on it. Yeah, so I absolutely could have sold it right there, that high for 3 Rs. Didn't, because it was over November. Thought I could go higher. I was wrong. I'm gonna lose an R1.5 unless Fastly can go back up to 130, which is extremely unlikely. But that R1.5 loss won't occur until November. Now, secondly, I do have some shares in on Fastly. I have orders set, pyramiding in all the way through here. 10 here, 20 there, 50 there, 100 there, 150 there, 200 there, buy low, sell high. The only reason I'm doing it is because I did it 4 times before. It worked 4 times, so I'm doing it a 5th time. What if I lose on the 5th time? That would suck. Can I hedge with options? Yes, I can. Do I know my risk tolerance on this one? Yes, I do. How much will I lose if Fastly goes to 0? Around 20 grand. Will Fastly go to 0? Not sure. How long will it take to go to 0? Probably a few years. Could it occur? Yes. Will it? I don't know yet. Edward says, if you had a 150 call that's down 40% 2020, would you let it ride until next year? Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, if it comes down to here and does one of these guys and these earnings are good, and then the earnings in December are good, I might buy another one. Chris says they're still going to have revenue of 70 million. Yeah. I mean, so they're not worthless, but again, that's just my approach. That's my plan. I don't think that they're going, I think they just lowered guidance, and that's what everyone else did. NVT. Nivent Electric is as sideways as it can be. Utility company, literally. Oh, yeah, sorry. NVTA. Yep, my bad. NVTA. This is one that my boy Craig likes a lot. He's been in this one for a while. Great job, Craig. Beautiful trend. Looks really good. This is a relatively nice, normal, calm pullback. And man, this thing is breaking out. Just stay in this one. Maybe even keep adding to it over time. It looks really good. Add small sizes, 25 shares here, 35 shares there on weekdays, and then just hold it. At this point, I mean, I don't know what else to say on that. It looks really great. Thanks for bringing that up, man. It looks pretty. All right, Friday, we got ETR being requested by Jay, PIN Duo, Wells Fargo, purple again, sleep number, CARS, MGNI, EVRI, NET. Virgin Galactic's have a nice move. Lemonade, RKT, LMPX, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Maxar, Microsoft, BNTX. Redfin's been crushing. Spotify, Melly, Activision, AOIX, SKNG, Amazon, AMD, PayPal, JMIA, DraftKings, MU, Starbucks. Mo says, hey, Jeremy, would you consider selling puts on some of these banks that have been bludgeoned, like Wells Fargo? Let's talk about that tomorrow. Yep, I'll talk about that tomorrow. Goldman Sachs, I would do, but JP Morgan, I would do. The other ones, no. But I'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. Yep. All right, team. Thank you for being here. You rock. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.